Hey, check this out, folks. I'm in downtown Sardinia, and we got some train action going on right now. Look at this. We've got the Green Goblin here and the little black Switcher, my two favorite locomotives, hooked up to some grain cars. Getting ready to come across the road. Yeah, there's something going on here really awesome. A bunch of grain and my two favorite locomotives. Although the new ones that they've got, they're giving these two a running. I don't know which one's going to be my favorite after that. Look at this though. And the snow, it's about 28 degrees. We got a couple inches of snow last night. All the sawdust that's in Mount Orab got covered up by the snow. All right, start the video, son. Let's see what's going on here. Let's figure this out. All right, getting ready to go. Just blew the whistle. Cool, look at that. Notched up a little bit. There you go. Let's go get them again. Looks like they're headed towards Afton. Grain in an empty tanker. Looks pretty good in the snow. All right, let's go get them again. Here we go. We're going to head towards Mount Orab. And there's the Sardinia Wye right there. That's where they do the servicing on their locomotives. Downtown Sardinia. But wait, there's more! There always is. Hey, here's this property I used to own right here on Peavine Road, right next to railroad tracks. Now, when I owned it, it was a vacant 5-acre parcel. Now they built a home on it. They got it fixed up really nice. They got a pond and everything there. I bought that in an auction back in, I think it was, let's see, the 90s, maybe the early 90s or so, mid 90s, something like that. And it's right here. So it goes right next to the railroad track. It's a pie-shaped lot. It's got somewhere around 1,000 foot of frontage alongside the tracks. I was making a camping site out of that. And then when they announced that they were closing this line down, I sold it. So I bought it at an auction for $15,000, and then I sold it for, I think it was $22,500. Now today, that lot would be worth a lot more because Route 32 is only a half a mile behind me. So if I would have kept that lot would be worth a fortune today. Yeah, the land price out here have gone way, way up since I've moved out here. I moved out here in '94. All right, here comes the train. Look at this. gotta wait from the engineer. There you go. Look at all that grain. This is milepost 45.3. There's no defect detector right here. There's a defect detector right over there. See on the other side of that tank car on the left? It hasn't been on for about, somewhere around, I'm gonna say 2014, 2015 maybe. That's when they turned off all the defect detectors. I do have some audio of that defect detector in use with Cincinnati Eastern Railroad running a train by here. But all the defect detectors are turned off. I used to be able to pick that up from my house, because I don't live very far from here. I could pick up this defect detector from my house to be at home. I'd hear it go off. And I'd know that Norfolk Southern had a train going through. So it was pretty handy. Well, let's go get them again. All right, we're at Sicily Road. Getting the other side of the train. Chugging sound from that General Electric at the B23-7. There you go, crossing Sicily Road just outside of Sardinia. And now we go to Mount Orab. They had another public meeting last night about the proposed data center that they're wanting to build in this 1,000 acres right here. And it was packed. I saw it on the news. I didn't go to it last night. I might go to the next one though. I like to keep informed and up to date on what's going on. There's about 4 of these things wanting to be built within a couple miles, well, I mean a couple hours of my house. Actually less than that, like an hour and a half. They're wanting to build one in Maysville, Kentucky, Wilmington, Ohio, Hamilton, and Mount Orab. They got proposals for all those places. And all those places, of course, people are protesting it. Can't blame them. But they gotta go somewhere. Anyways, let's go back up to Mount Orab. Go up into town and get that train. All right, I'm downtown Mount Orab at High Street, Route 68, and I'm going to get a different angle this time. I haven't filmed this angle here in a long time. Main reason is because if you're filming right here and a truck comes, it could really block your view. Right, here goes the gates. That's the owner of the mill here on the right, standing over there. I think he wanted that van moved. The conductor's in that crossing shanty. There's a door on the track side. He activates the gates. tricky part's getting across the road, so I'm gonna go across now while I can. Get on the roll by, you just said. See this place here. This used to be called the mill. It's got new owners now. I don't think he wanted that van parked there, but it's only for a minute. All right, they're going tapped. I just heard him on the radio talking. So he's going to meet him at the Eastern Afton, he said. There's downtown Mount Orab right there, and there's the Batmobile you can see. So let's go get them in Williamsburg, get them going up the hill for the grand finale. Maybe another spot between here and there. All right, here we go. Top of the rail before the train comes. A little bit of rust. It's going to get shined up in a minute. All right, so I'm at Lindsay Road. On the west side of Mount Orab. One of the 4 Lindsay roads in this area. There's also one in Fayetteville. See, this is Lindsay Road right there. I didn't park right there, of course. See, there's another side right over there. Okay, the train is coming from this direction. Let's get this side this time. Here we go. They're starting to get fairly close. Next crossing down. Here comes the train. There she goes. Next crossing will be Eastwood Road. I'm still getting used to this camera. Might have messed up back there a little bit. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. Going through the snow. Now we're going to go to Williamsburg at the grand finale and get them going up the hill somewhere. Here's the top of the rail after the train. Got it shined up. There you go. That's looking east, that direction right there. Downtown Mount Orb's only a few miles up that way. I'm still getting used to this camera right here. I've got about 6. I think it's 6 cameras, not counting my regular Canon cameras. I got a couple of those too. But I mean, just like the cell phone cameras, I got 6 of those. And my wife's got one. Now this was her backup camera, but then when I dropped my good camera in Pennsylvania and broke it on the ballast, I started using this one because she hadn't been using it very much. So only one of my cell phones can make telephone calls. The rest of them are just used for filming trains, and that's it. And about 3 of them are completely filled up. I just hate erasing stuff. There's always a use for it later on. You can make shorts out of it, or you can make compilation videos, or just look back at old stuff. So I always hate erasing stuff. That's why my cameras are always filled up. Well, we're on the way to Williamsburg right now. This road is cleared off. The road at my house is still covered over. And I think there's probably more houses on my road than this one. Kind of surprised this one looks so good. Look at this. This road's in great shape. We're near the county line right now, Brown County and Clermont County. Still in Brown County though. Williamsburg, next stop. Coming into Williamsburg right here. Big old city of Williamsburg. At one time, it was the county seat for Clermont County, just for a short time. Batavia is the county seat now. All right, I'm in downtown Williamsburg at the hill. Here comes the grand finale. It's pretty slippery out here. I slipped and fell over there. I got eternal injuries. Not internal injuries, eternal. I hurt all the time. All right, there you go. That was a good one. Sidewalk's kind of covered over. Look at this. Kind of hard to walk through here. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you the top of the rail. Let's have a look at the track here first. Always like to do that before and after the train. This is one of my favorite spots. There's the back of the train. Here's the top of the rail. Nice and shiny. In August, I'll be looking back at these videos and I'll be burning up and I'll say, I wish we had another cold day like that again. All right, thanks for watching. Check out another video if you can. Every view helps my channel. All right, see you later. Somewhere in Williamsburg, Ohio. All right, for comparison on the roads, here's my road. I'm just now coming home from filming the trains. And there's a house I own over there. That's where my daughter used to live before. She bought there was a 15-acre farm that she got with a big horse barn. So this is what my road looks like. And they've never salted this road. I've lived here since 1994, but they did make it wider. It used to be a lot more narrow than this. And the potholes aren't bad like they used to be. When I first moved here, I got a flat tire from hitting one of these potholes. But they've got it all nice and smooth now. Road's wide, but they don't really do much to it for the snow. You just have to wait for the snow to melt. No big deal though, because it's mostly flat. Just a couple small hills and that's it. And then my farm starts over on the right. See that tree row is over there? That's right. Plus this lot right here. That's mine right there. That's just a little bit over an acre, just a little tiny lot. But my farm starts over there where those big trees are, and then it goes that way, keeps going that way. Goes back 2,600 something feet, something like that. Right here's the corner. The Jawtooth Compound, somewhere in a remote area of southern Ohio. There comes a fire truck going by the house. Got a car wreck just down the road. Car hit a telephone pole. Live action.
One vehicle off the roadway, 2122. OSB is Benfield.
Just right down the other end of my property.